What is up, Drum Alert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Keemstar. Let's go right into the news. Now, today, we are going to be talking about PewDiePie's very, very good friend, Jacksepticeye. This PewDiePie situation just keeps on going and going and going. As you probably know, Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie are very good friends. PewDiePie always shouting him out, and this friendship developed from PewDiePie giving a small YouTuber, Jacksepticeye, the biggest shout out of his life back in 2013, which paved the way for Jacksepticeye to be one of the biggest gaming entertainers on the platform with over 14 million subscribers. Yesterday, Jacksepticeye uploaded a video talking about this PewDiePie situation with the Wall Street Journal, with Disney dropping him, with Scare PewDiePie 2 being canceled, and well, you would assume that this would be a defense of PewDiePie. Well, it wasn't. The video starts out with Jacksepticeye not really defending PewDiePie, but defending himself because he made a tweet supporting PewDiePie. Roll it.
A lot of people are confused because when Felix was tweeting out about this, I sent him a tweet showing support towards him. And a lot of people thought that that was me being a sympathizer to Nazis, to being a sympathizer to anti-Semitism, which I think is a bit ridiculous, a bit unfair, and it's a bit too much of a concrete statement to make based around just one tweet that I made.
Okay, so that's not so bad. Jacksepticeye has a right to defend himself, saying that he's not a Nazi just because he sent PewDiePie some love in a tweet, but it gets worse. Roll it.
I think what Felix did was very stupid. I think it was a very moronic thing to do. I don't think, whether it was in context or not, that's a lot of contention that people have with the joke that he made, and that's what it always comes back to. It's like, well, in context, it's just a joke. And that flies to a certain degree, but when you're dealing with that type of joke, I think it gets a lot more serious. I don't think you can just brush it off as just a joke, or that the context matters. I know Felix very well in my personal life. I've known him for a while now. We're pretty good friends, and I know for a fact that he's not a Nazi. I know for a fact that he's not an anti-Semitic person. Again, this doesn't excuse what he did. I'm just trying to, like, for the people who are asking, is he a Nazi or not? I'm trying to say, no, he's not. 100% in his real life, he's not like that. He made some stupid jokes that completely backfired on him, and he's paying the repercussions for that, which I think when you make jokes like that, you should be prepared to pay the consequences.
Now, I found it very interesting that Jacksepticeye labeled PewDiePie's Nazi jokes as bad jokes when he himself has joked about Nazis. Many months ago, PewDiePie unverified himself and made a joke on Twitter saying this: "Me and Jacksepticeye have joined ISIS, which is why we both got unverified." Jacksepticeye responded by saying, "I said Nazis, not ISIS." God damn it, Felix. So Jacksepticeye himself has made Nazi jokes. Why the hell is he throwing one of his good friends under the bus? But not only that, a good friend that literally paved the way for him to have an amazing gaming entertainment career here on YouTube. And that's not the end of it. It gets worse. Listen to how he explains his opinion on Disney or Maker Studios dropping PewDiePie. Roll it.
And a lot of people are asking as well, do I think it was right that what Disney did to cut ties with him? And yeah, I think that's fair game. He made some really bad jokes. Disney being who they are and the type of branding that they have and the sort of family-friendly image that they have, I think it makes perfect sense for them to cut ties with Felix. I'm surprised they didn't cut ties with him sooner, based around the jokes that he's always been making. So in that regard, as a business decision, I don't disagree with that. I think Disney did what was appropriate for what happened.
Now, I found this very interesting that Jacksepticeye would describe Maker and Disney as family-friendly content, and they should have dropped him when some of the partners on Maker Studios are very, very controversial. One of them being iDubbbz. iDubbbz himself is partnered with Maker. Now, this came across very selfish because Jacksepticeye is also partnered with Maker, and it seems like he defended Maker over his good friend PewDiePie. But it gets even worse. This is what Jacksepticeye says about Scare PewDiePie 2 being canceled from YouTube Red. Roll it.
When it comes to YouTube, it's a bit more blurry because they dropped season 2 of Scare PewDiePie, which for me personally was a heavy blow because I had a very large part to play in that season. I was like half of the actual season. It was going to be a me versus Felix head-to-head type of show. So personally, it's sad to see all that work. Having seen all the work that went into it, it's very sad to see all of that go away.
Again, to me, this displayed Jacksepticeye being very selfish. He was okay with Maker dropping PewDiePie because that didn't affect him. But when it did affect him because of his involvement in Scare PewDiePie 2 being canceled, he thinks, maybe they shouldn't have done that. Really? Now, after me and many other people expressed our opinions that this came across as a pure backstab to PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye did respond today on Twitter with some regret. He said this: I really regret my video from yesterday. A lot of people have been really opening my eyes on the topic and made me realize how naive I was. Public pressure got to me and I was misguided and not very supportive of a good friend in their time of need. Ya think? We responded by saying, thank you for saying this, Jacksepticeye. Could you please take down the vid or make another vid better explaining your thoughts? Jack responded on Twitter by saying, I think making more videos might just muddle things a bit more, clarify a bit more on Tumblr too. I have been talking to Felix too privately and expressed my apologies, definitely considering removing the video to avoid confusion. Now, I've had so many Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie fans tweeting at me saying that I got into the middle of this because I'm just starting drama. I just want to create more drama, or I just want more views. That is not the case. The reason why I'm so passionate about all of this is because there are outside sources that are trying to control our community. We are the YouTube community. This is ours. It's not owned by the mainstream media. It's not owned by people with suits and ties. It's ours. We have created this community, and we are fully capable of policing ourselves. When we see a YouTuber do something wrong or a YouTuber step out of line, we collectively, as the YouTube community, called that person out. We don't need the mainstream media. We don't need the Wall Street Journal to say if something is wrong or right, because it's not their community. It's ours. And if we decided as a community that PewDiePie was wrong and what PewDiePie did was horrible, then his videos would have had 1 million dislikes, not 1 million likes. The only reason why Jacksepticeye is saying that these jokes were wrong or these were bad jokes is because of outside sources that have no power here. We have the power. This is our community. And if we bow down to some journalist over at the Wall Street Journal, then we are giving our power away. We are way more powerful than the Wall Street Journal. We are way more important to advertisers than the Wall Street Journal because we are the biggest source of entertainment in the world. YouTubers and the YouTube community get way more clicks than the Wall Street Journal could ever dream of. Jacksepticeye doesn't think what PewDiePie did was wrong or that they were bad jokes or that he should have been dropped from Maker. Jacksepticeye fears of what the Wall Street Journal could do to him or what Maker could do to him, and that is sad, Jack, because you are way more powerful. Your voice and your videos are way more powerful than any of the mainstream media. You just don't understand the power that you have, and you never should have caved to them. You should have defended your friend who gave you that power in the first place. Never, ever, ever give outside sources the power. We can govern ourselves. We are the YouTube community. Thank you.